So the Porsche is now in, it's been washed, and what I've already done what seems like about 3/4 of a day in claying the car, cleaning it down with alcohol, claying the car, then using tar and glue remover from Gtechniq. I didn't quite realise how grubby and grimy, mostly because of this has been tracked, so it's got tyre rubber everywhere. So the wheels were going to come off soon. Oh, the messages. The wheels are going to come off soon. There's some battle scars from track days. I'm going to pick the camera up. I'm actually going to pick up the gimbal camera in a moment, and I'm going to show you what's next. But it's just really a recap that I was quite shocked and stunned how long I've been cleaning in all the edges and gaps with cocktail sticks everywhere. Everywhere had white. It was just smothered in tar. It's been all clay, like I said. It's been alcohol wiped down, and then I've gone around inspecting everywhere, really spending a long time cleaning all the surfaces. Oh, it's been a long-winded job, and it starts to show white bits of wax or compound. So like I say, now it's touching stone chips, touching lacquer. Found some deep scratches. I have some colour mixed up. Had some colour. There was 6 shades of this particular colour, so we've gone for prime colour, the prime shade. That is always the most popular standard shade. For touching, that's going to be good enough. I've had a long conversation with a customer, about an hour, about edges and polishing and PPF and what's going on, and he's very pragmatic and understands there's damage that I'm going to touch in, there's bits on the number plate that the dealership, oh my phone, the dealership has put wood screws in and then damaged the bumper. I've now seen that the bumper's had a smart repair. It doesn't surprise me, there's a little bit of repairs, a join line. When I polish all that and we put PPF on it, it will disguise it all. The biggest concern is we've got some clear coat, big chips in the carbon that I really want to try and fix, and they're not easy because they've been chipped a long time ago and there's dirt and debris got underneath the flaking paint. Not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet. It's going to be some strong glasses up, very, very close, magnified, because I want to get this bonnet obviously as good as possible. Let's see. So I'm going to pick the camera up. I'm going to then change the camera settings into 4K because my setup behind me, this remote setup, but you're now, I can record and walk around on all the cameras and it's synchronized, can only record in 1080p. So the clarity, the sort of, is not perfectly sharp for up close. So what I have to do is switch one of the cameras into 4K, then just record it as B-roll. And that's just a little bit of an insight into what goes on to make a video. So it's a long wash, interesting wash, because I had a couple of people stop and ask me questions, one that's potentially wants to book his car in and one a young lad. So let's get on with, and this, by the way, it's a Sunday, and can you hear my phone going, or my watch? Literally constant, I get so many messages, it's a massive compliment around the world. That's why I normally silence it, and I haven't, but you know what? I'm showing you this is what my day's like, and then people say to me, how you get on my car? Can I come round? This, that, and it's like, I used to have a front man for that very reason, a PA. Literally, my job and my life are so busy. And maybe that's going to have to happen again. Anyway, I digress. So, let me show you next on camera. I'm going to walk around the big damaged chips and lots of fine chips. There's actually loads of fine chips, and they're worse to touching than big chips. And then obviously the scratch, then the touch-ins. Let's get on with it. Thank you for watching. Let's get going. So the Porsche is now complete, it's finished. Oh, I've had this car, trying to work out my days, 7, nearly 10 days, 2 helpers, 2 sort of people I've worked with a lot in the past, so there's been a lot of hours. That's 10 days, the person, I've had 2 people, it's roughly about 14, 15 days, long days to complete this. So let's have a recap. Oh my God, it's gonna be a lot. So obviously it's been tracked. It had lots of stone chips. So we had lots of stone chips on the front of the bumper. There's a horrible scuff on the towing cover, the eye cover. The wheel arches, the trailing edges of the wheel arches obviously chipped really badly. So before we started doing that, the first thing we'd done after a wash procedure was I was actually nearly a whole entire day scrubbing and cleaning all of the edges and all down through the gaps, and tar and glue remover all along the edge of the wheel arches, all along the bottoms, and then touching it in. So there's almost a day of just touching in the paint after it had been degreased and cleaned. And then once the paint had dried, then it's set to starting to slice down or sand and polish. So the main key thing would have been the wing round here. There was a horrible scratch down here. I will pick the camera up in a minute and show you. It's gone. There's a big horrible scratch there. There was another couple of scratches, but I captured just that one of filling in with the paint. Oh, and the paint I got mixed up. There was 6 shades of this particular colour. We gone to prime shade, so we had to obtain which was the best colour match. Touched in the wing, the bad scratch, sliced it down, same on the bumper, and many other places where I just constantly felt like I was just touching in stone chips on this car, with the brief to keep this original and not to paint it. There were some sanding marks, some horrible marks. It looked like a little bit of a repair. They've been addressed. No particular order. Obviously the wheels have come off. We've coated the wheels on the inside and outside. Backs of the spokes, as well as the calipers and even the hubs. Oh yes, the hubs themselves have had some hand cutting and chemicals because they were all stained. So the centre parts of the carbon discs, and they've been coated as well with Gtechniq crystal serum and exo. Stop them staining in the future. Then the car was all polished. Oh, it's going to go on all machine polished. So we'll be dropping in some footage of that as I'm talking about it. Then obviously it was all degreased and cleaned and blown down. The under the bonnet covers were all removed. All the plastics were all removed. And then all the rear quarter panels, the air scoops are removed so that we could PPF the entire car. And it has had the entire car PPF'd. And where we could obviously have it so it didn't have any sort of edges exposed. But while the covers off the plastic trims were removed, I repainted the inner part of the vents, which have all gone faded and discoloured and damaged. Oh yes, obviously the rear quarter panels, the PPF, the GT3 RS Decal was on top of the PPF on the back. So when we've removed the PPF, that's obviously taken the Decal off. So it's had a new decal. We've got the factory decal, so obviously we didn't have to do the door. We carefully took a long time of lining up so we could just do the end pieces, the rear quarter pieces. So now the PPF is over all of those decals. We had that discussion with the customer, do you want them under or over? And then he decided he's going to keep the car, so that means the Porsche front badge, the GT3 RS badge, the Porsche symbol on the rear spoiler and down the side are all under the PPF. We did say that you get like a tiny, like a fine little air bubble around the edge, or you can have them on the outside. It decided to sort of seal them all. So that's all done. We then actually put a double layer on the rear quarter panels so that it looks like you can't see the PPF on the single layer everywhere. And then we put another piece on so it looks like factory. So it's quite a clever trick. You get double protection, plus it looks like the car's not had PPF, but you've got the factory piece on top. What else we got? So obviously once all the PPF before we talk about PPF, even though it's all been PPF, the headlight on the near side, the passenger side, had a really bad damage. So I've filled that in with, sanded it, filled it in with some lacquer, sanded it down, sliced it, and it looks sort of 90%, 95% better now. It was a horrible graze, it's now a tiny little graze. And then obviously on the carbon, on the bonnet, there's some really bad impact marks with damage. So that's had some cutting really carefully with a really sharp scalpel to cut out any of the loose flaking lacquer. Then I've dabbed in the lacquer, then I wait that for the dry, then it's sliced down, sanded down and polished. Oh, the interior, not captured any footage of that, but obviously it's been vacuumed, cleaned, the glass, all the dials, which use an LED torch to all the dials and the interior, and even the leather, that's obviously all hoovered. There's literally one thing I couldn't reach, and I need to buy something, and that's the rear screen on the inside. Because of the cage, I'm not very slim, I'm not going to fit, I can't reach. Fortunately, it's very clean in there, but that is literally the only thing I haven't been able to touch. All the plastics have been coated, all under the hood has been coated, all the engine bay's been coated with Gtechniq coatings. Polished the titanium exhaust, coated these number plates. I mean, it's crazy. The tyres, I've had 2 layers of tyre dressing, 2 different brands, and then wiped dry to give this beautiful satin look, but very dark look. Oh, this car, I say, it's like 14 days of work really on this car. Sliced down, so the bumper was all distorted. So whoever's put a number plate, you may be able to see there's not a number plate on there at the moment. I have to stick the number plate on, that's the last thing to do before it leaves. That's all I've got to do, it's the number plate, it's a sticky plate. It had a sticky plate before, but it's all wobbly. The bumper was all wobbly and all the holes were pulled out and raised, where whoever put the original number plates in the past, because this car's 6 years old, it's clearly put really long screws and done them up too tight, and it's bent the bumper, pulled the plastic, extruded the plastic out so it's sticking out. So when you put the stick-on plate, you can see it's all wobbly and raised. It was many hours heating up, then cooling and heating up and pressing to try and form the bumper so it ends up being flatter as such, which it is now, and slicing down. So that's now perfect, that when we put the stick-on plate, you're not going to notice. Is that it? I'm sure there's going to be more. There's bound to be more. So obviously spent a long time around all the gaps and edges, but really I suppose I should just pick the camera up and be really overlaying all of what I'm talking over the footage now. But I'm tired. I have no problem saying it's getting towards the end of the peak season of summer. 3 months now, I've had sometimes 4 or 5 cars waiting outside, overlapping. Once this car goes, oh, I'm actually down to the 1 car outside coming in. It's been manic. Thank everybody that's booked with me for training, for their cars to be done. I'm blown away with how much interest there's been again with me coming back doing my job. And look, I love it. I haven't lost it. I'm in my peak again, in my prime. Getting a bit old for this really, but yeah, long hours. What do you think of the car? I will pick up the camera now. Actually, what I'll do, I'll sign out first and then I'll pick that camera up. So thank you for watching. Big job, massive job. If you've watched this video right to the end, I really appreciate this. Obviously, I'd love you to smash the bell, like and subscribe, because I'm going to do my very best to try and keep releasing cars like this. Very difficult on my own to capture all these cameras, sort all the videos out, and try and get them edited over myself or a friend while dealing with the amount of inquiries I've got. But it does mean so much to me that you are actually watching this type of footage. Right, I've got 25 minutes and the customer comes, so I best pick the camera up and take some recordings of the areas I've just talked about. So let's start with this one here. Just that. So I'm adjusting the camera on the fly. I'm going to zoom in, but this area was very badly scratched. That's now addressed, which is brilliant. Achieved what I wanted to achieve. Then there was, if I go down here on the angle, let's go on the angle. This number plate, or the front of the bumper, was all wobbly and distorted. Now it looks beautiful. I'll come the other side so we can capture it. Hopefully I'm capturing it right. That now is nowhere near distorted. Looks sharp again. Oh, while we're here, we've got that area there. Just it. That had that horrible deep gouge there. That's gone. And then over here, there was a big chip that's fixed. There was another one down here. It's got slight remains of a shallow there, but it's now not white. And there was more edges, and then obviously, oh yes, and then the decals, which now look beautiful, all in line perfectly. The tyres I talked about. Let's go around this side. I mean, there's so much on this car. There is so much. Let's adjust the camera so you can see that better. So the tyres look nice and matte, how they should be, but exceptionally clean. And obviously you can see the wheels that look stunning, the brakes look stunning. Oh, the wheel arches. I just forgot. Yes, nearly forgot. It's even had all the wheel arches when the wheels are off, really deep cleaned. Try to get as much of the tar and glue and mess and dirt off. So this is really spotless. I will probably try and capture some footage of the interior just to show the spec. Really, all the interior is done. But look, it's done. I need a rest, so bad. But hey, I'm smiling still somehow. I'm physically broken, really tired. I'm so glad I've come to the end of this manic season. But hey, thank you for watching. It's Kelly Harris, the Detailing Centre. Thank you very much and goodbye.